Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's podcast. Absolutely, Mary and Lois. I had to think then what we were.
Did you forget your name?
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah, I know. I forget my name
what day
too.
it is sometimes,
Oh, no.
but there you go.
How's your week been?
Yeah, I've had quite an interesting week. So, working as a chaplain on a Monday, I met this patient on the ward, schizophrenia, young gentleman, getting better, and he asked me to baptise him. I know, get that. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to, but I mean, I'd done a couple of the Baptists. Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
And then he said, "Am I Church of England?" And then I said, "Well, I was." I said I was, and then I thought, "Oh, there's probably some rules about that, so I better double check." But yeah, I can do it. So I asked my vicar, he blessed the water.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Put it in a pot for me, ready for Monday. So yeah, I'm going to do a baptism on a psychiatric ward on Monday.
I think that's a wonderful good news story.
It was a really good, and it was really uplifting for me at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I look forward to it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that good news. Yeah.
What about you, Lois? How's your
Well, it's been a busy week again. BT decided that I needed a faster broadband. Now, I have to say I haven't noticed any difficulties with the broadband I've already got.
Yeah. So why do you need
it's fast enough for me.
Yeah,
haven't noticed any difficulties. But no, BT decided that they'd come along and there was some problems, so they had to come back a second day apparently to put it in. The trouble is that when they give you a new hub, they give you a new phone, and then you realise your smart television doesn't work, so you got to adjust that. Then my phone didn't work, my printer didn't work, my Alexa didn't work.
Oh, it's so annoying. I had the same thing. Yeah, BT, they upgraded the hub and we had to change the box. And it was the same for me, and I didn't have a clue how to reset the Alexa.
Well,
I'm not that great with IT. So I know the basics.
I've just been working my way around different. But it's amazing, isn't it? How many things we take for granted, and how many things do rely now on Wi-Fi and digital.
It's quite scary, really. I was thinking this the other day that, in my demise, as and when that should happen, hopefully not for a while.
Oh, we've been there before.
Yeah, we have. I should write everything down in a little book somewhere, rather than, because everything's on my phone. And you just think, well, what if you lose your phone? It's all Face ID recognition and whatnot now. So, yeah.
Well, my diary's on my phone. If it's not in my diary, it doesn't happen,
the same. If I lost my phone, I wouldn't know what I was doing the next day.
No.
Mad, isn't it?
It is mad.
So write it in a book. Keep it somewhere safe.
Anyway, I think I've gone through all my appliances now.
Yeah. I'm
looking at one over there, my iPad, or equivalent of. So nice. That'll need adjusting. But it's just, it's amazing. But is it faster? Do we need to be faster?
I would say no, we don't need to be faster. Interestingly, a very new thing for me that I've come across is the AI facility to write things for me. I'm having a bit of fun with that in a minute, I have to say. I mean, I don't want to rely on it because I'm not sure that's a good thing. I don't want to stop thinking, use my ability to use my brain and let that do everything. But it's tempting. It's tempting when you're busy. It's when you're busy, isn't it?
I don't use ChatGPT or whatever it's called for that purpose, AI. I do ask it questions sometimes, and I find myself having a conversation with something that's obviously a robot.
Same. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, it's quite worrying. Yeah. I gather some people have married themselves to this robot, and got themselves into a relationship. I don't think we're quite going to go down that road.
I was thinking, because my daughter was having a chat with me about my grandson asking, he's got various anxieties about things, and she was saying about the school, talking about how we would prepare ourselves if there was a war. And And I'm thinking about my 9-year-old grandson being, one of the listeners to this, who got a bit anxious about it. So his mum was talking to me about it. So I was saying to her about how I find, when we feel fearful about things, that how my faith really helps me. So we were having a chat about that. So I used AI then and asked it, could you write a short story for a young person about the resurrection and what it means?
Good.
I know. So it did, and I thought I could tweak it. So
Yeah.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I'll finish the story another time, because
Yeah.
we probably want to move on to other things.
That's a good idea, actually. That's not a bad idea. But we are all becoming so dependent on this digital world, aren't we, for different things, really.
And it can be quite addictive, can't it? I mean, as is the television.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I find myself, it's on all the time at home sometimes, and I think, oh, for goodness sake, I have the odd day I have to switch it off, Lois, because it gets on my nerves, it's on all the time.
I have been through a period of not watching the news as much, because I find it quite stressful, really, to see what's going on. But the news in the last week about Prince Andrew.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, where do we go with that one, Mary?
I mean, well, it's just completely dominant. Every channel yesterday during the day, I was at home yesterday afternoon, and I was flicking over the channels, and they all had something to say about Prince Andrew.
Yeah,
every one of them. There was a debate. What do I think? Well, I think he's a bit of a twit, sorry, I gotta say. I knew he was lying right from that time when he was interviewed. Do you think so? Yeah, his body language, he's just a bit shifty.
Well, I watched Newsnight last night. I don't watch Newsnight every night because I have a look at what they're covering. But last night they were going with the Prince Andrew story. And there was an ex-MP on, Rory Stewart, and I quite like him, actually. But he said, with all the problems that's going on in the world, why are we talking about Prince Andrew?
Yeah.
Now, my answer to that is that what he is being associated with and the way he's conducted himself over the Epstein thing, I think that what that group, whoever they were into, with trafficking girls and everything like that, is a very serious subject globally.
Yeah, 100% it is. And I think, do you think it's also about, well, it's definitely about justice, isn't it?
It is about justice.
It's got to be about justice and accountability, and justice is key.
Yeah.
But also, and I know it's, I'm speaking out, and maybe that it's a bit controversial, but I do think there's an element of entitlement with Prince Andrew, and he's always had that smugness about him. And apparently, I learned that lots of people had said in lots of staff at Buckingham Palace, and the grounds in which wherever he frequented, would say just how rude he was to staff.
Okay.
How dismissive he was as a person, and I think, is that because he acts like an entitled, spoilt brat, really?
Well, funnily enough, you use that word, and the lady who unfortunately took her life earlier on in the year. Yeah. One of the words that she uses in her book about him is his sense of entitlement.
Yeah, really.
And yet he was the Queen's favourite son, or so we're told.
So they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a difficult one in a system where we have the monarchy. I'm not a fan of the monarchy. I don't mind saying that. I like to think that I'm a gentle Republican, really.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when people say, well, what do we replace the monarchy with? I certainly don't want a system like they have in America that throws up a president in the way that it does. But, I mean, with the monarchy, there is... there is a sense of entitlement, I'm afraid, but I do think that the monarchy realises, in the form of the King and the Queen and maybe the Prince of Wales, that they could be in trouble over this one. And of course the big issue that's come up in Parliament now is that he lives rent-free in a mansion.
With 13 bedrooms.
I think it's 30.
30?
It's huge.
I'm sure, I thought I heard 13.
Oh, you might be right, but I thought
But
it was bigger
whether
than
it's
that.
13 or 30,
Yeah.
why is he rattling around in this huge house?
And one of the things that
Free.
actually in Parliament they now asked about and wanting to appear unheard of before a select committee is, why hasn't he paid any rent for a property that is paid for by us?
Absolutely,
I mean, we pay
yeah.
for...
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's it's very difficult, but it raises all these issues, isn't it, about the treatment of women again, and the treatment
yes.
particularly of young girls.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
why is that acceptable?
Yeah, and why aren't these men being held to account over this? You know, why are they allowed to get off it? It don't matter what their status is. What they've done is wrong.
Well, I mean, in the Epstein case, it's like we were saying earlier, the only person behind bars for
It's
whatever they were doing is a woman. And she should rightly be behind bars.
Yeah.
But where are all the men?
Exactly. Well, I just hope and pray that that justice is served. I really do. And with Prince Andrew as well. I don't even know if I want to call him Prince. I mean, that is his title. That's how he was born.
Well, apparently that's the title that he can't be taken away from him, because he's the Queen's son. He still has to carry...
Yeah.
We cannot apparently take that away from him.
Yeah. But on another note, though, Lois, I was just thinking about this. I mean, I can't really see the point of the monarchy. I've just grown up and it's always been there. So it's just been part of my kind of English heritage, if you like. But I don't really understand the point of it, really. And I wonder what it would be like without it. But how could we be without it? Because the families are still there. They're still royals. That's been part of their history. The children that will go on to have children will still be, their bloodline will be royal, if you like. So how do you break that? Because what would their lives look like? They couldn't just suddenly live normal lives like us, could they?
I
don't know. What do you think?
I think what is more likely to happen is, and we're seeing some of this with King Charles, and I think we'll see a lot more of it with William and Kate. I think the monarchy will change over the next few decades.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look like a very, very different monarchy, not maybe flaunting wealth.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, there are a few of them that do not have to pay tax, although I gather the Queen did voluntarily pay some tax.
Okay.
But it means that they accumulate wealth quite readily against a backdrop of increasing poverty, and this is the great wealth gap that we've talked about as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a legitimate question, Mary, you're asking, because there are countries who don't have monarchies. Ireland is one of them, and the president is really has no power, really. I think they're voting currently for a new president there. But when you look at a country like America...
Yeah. Oh, dear. Go on, what's his name again?
Trumpty Dumpty.
That's it.
I mean, he's the president.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, is that...
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Is that what happens when you don't have a monarchy? Because when you look at that, Mary, you think, well, maybe we should hold on to the monarchy.
Yeah, but you just said, going back a couple of sentences ago, you were saying about Prince William and Kate. Now, I have to say that they are my favourites ever.
Yes.
There is something about them that embroils compassion and grace. Both of them together, they work. They're so connected, aren't they?
Yes.
I feel. But it does remind me somewhat of Princess Diana, his approach. Now, people will have lots of different opinions on Princess Diana, and I'm sure that she wasn't without her troubles and problems.
Oh yes,
right.
Yeah.
But actually, in terms of presence and compassion and grace, she really seemed to have bucket loads on that, didn't she? When she was going out there and she was meeting people suffering with HIV and AIDS, and it was revolutionary, really, at its time for a royal to be present in those situations, wasn't it?
Yes.
And to go to the hospital beds of those who were really, really suffering with that type of disease. And especially at a time when we didn't know enough about it, and everybody thought, even within close proximity, we might all catch it.
Yeah.
So she really put herself out there, and walking along the a mine-ridden path. Yeah, I mean things like that. So when I look at William, I just think, my gosh, he really emulates his mother.
There's something of his mother about him.
Kate, they seem to really complement one another. So I think going forward, if there still remains to be a monarchy, I'm hoping what you just said, that although that may be shaped differently, I think that they would be an amazing asset to the country. Actually,
yes. I think they're much more open as well. I mean, the old Queen, as much as people really respected her and loved what she represented, there was quite a lot of secrecy around, and the confidentiality was absolutely paramount. And for certain reasons it still has to be. But I think with William and Kate, there's a real new openness, which I have to say I warm to them.
And also, and they're not afraid to show their emotions, because he was interviewing a mum, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The other day, and talking about mental health.
Yeah.
And he shed a tear. His empathy was that much that he showed it through.
I think he's also said that because of what they've been through, both with his father's health and Kate's health, that he's begun to understand what's really important in people's lives.
But that's so true as well, isn't it? Because you can vouch for that through loss in your life, and I can vouch through that, having a partner who's really struggling with an incurable cancer. That it really, your empathy goes up. It goes up in bucket loads then, doesn't it? When you're having conversations and you touch on certain subjects, you just feel that really overwhelming, don't you? Sense of emotion.
You do.
Yeah.
And I think what we're talking about in William and Kate is an empathy that maybe we've not had
we haven't
before.
Had that,
no. And you don't get such an impression of entitlement from them.
No, they're humble in their approach. They're very humble.
I still think they're very privileged minds.
Of course they're privileged. Yes.
No, we can't end without talking about what's happening today, which we haven't talked about previously. Historically, the head of the Church of England is in Rome.
I know.
And for the first time since the Reformation, that's a very, very long time, the head of the Church of England and the Pope will be praying together.
Yeah.
And they're going to pray in the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think that's quite amazing. I think it's 500 years. It hasn't happened for 500 years. Good, fair play. That's a really good thing, isn't it? That they've joined forces like that to pray.
It's an incredible statement.
What do you think they're praying about?
Ooh. Well, I think if Pope Leo goes true to form, he's very concerned about the conflicts around the world, isn't he? Of course. And he's very concerned about abuse.
Yeah.
And I suspect Charles will bring the environment to his prayers as well.
He's always been passionate about it.
He's always been passionate, but that is going to be something historical,
It is.
involving our monarchy today, praying alongside the Pope.
I wonder, throwing a curveball, do you think they might speak about Prince Andrew? I mean,
Maybe Prince Charles will ask for
maybe he needs a lot of
advice.
prayers around that.
Well, Pope Leo's got 2 brothers, hasn't he? Maybe there'll be a conversation where King Charles says, help, what do I do about this? Because at the end of the day, whatever Andrew's been involved in, he is still his brother.
I know, and he's got to make those decisions, and he's got to make, right ones and good decisions, hasn't he, based on based on the future. But I mean, I can see that he'll go in exile. Really, he'll go off abroad.
Well, didn't that happen to what was he? No, he abdicated, King Edward, didn't he?
Yes, that's
He
right.
abdicated, and following his abdication, because he married a divorced woman,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
he lived in exile, didn't he? And it'll be interesting to see where this story goes with Prince Andrew, but he's certainly not a character I would warm to.
No, there's something about him, isn't there? That I think he's slimy. That's sorry, guys. That's it in a nutshell. He's slimy.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
But if you see this news today with Prince Charles and the Pope together, that is something really historical.
But let's hope that they've prayed or are praying really big prayers, all right? Really worthwhile prayers that are going to make a real difference in whatever prayers they're praying for the sake of us lot.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And in that beautiful chapel, the Sistine.
Yes.
Have you ever been there?
Yes, I have.
I mean, it is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary.
So that will be certainly something on the front of the newspapers tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah, I hope
And
so
just
too.
to highlight, the prayers of these people that need to be said. So, with that in mind...
Yeah, we bid you goodbye, and we'll see you real soon. Have a great day.
Bye.